Have you ever really stopped to think about what happens inside a gun in that split second after you pull the trigger? It's not magic, it's all pure mechanics. And right at the center of it all is this incredible piece of engineering called the action. Think of it like the unseen engine, the mechanical heart that makes the whole thing tick. So, let's dive right in. Here's what we're going to cover in this explainer. First, we'll nail down what an action even is. Then, we'll look at the two big families of design. After that, we'll check out 3 timeless manual types, see how some guns actually reload themselves, and then we'll wrap it all up by figuring out how you choose the right one for you.
All right, first things first. Before we go any further, let's get a really clear idea of what we're talking about when we say the word action.
To put it simply, the action is just the system of moving parts that handles the ammo. It's the machinery inside that grabs a live round, gets it into the chamber, and then gets the empty, spent one out. It's kind of like the hands of the firearm, doing all the critical work.
Now, what's really cool is how this whole process breaks down into 5 basic jobs. Every single firearm action out there, no matter how simple or complex, has to do this. It has to load a round, lock the breech, and that's super important for containing that explosion safely, fire the shot, pull the empty casing out, and then toss it away. It's this little mechanical dance that happens every single time you fire.
So, how do firearms actually accomplish those 5 steps? Well, that question leads us to this huge fork in the road, this great divide in design that splits almost all firearms into 2 big categories.
And here it is, the 2 different paths. It all boils down to one simple question. Who's doing the work? Is it powered by you, the shooter? Well, that's a manual action. Or is it powered by the incredible energy from the gunshot itself? That's what we call an autoloading action. And believe me, that one difference in the power source changes absolutely everything, from how fast you can shoot to how complicated the gun is.
Okay, with that in mind, let's start with that first category, the manual actions. We're going to look at the 3 most famous designs where your own muscle power makes the machine work.
First up, you knew it was coming. The absolute classic, the bolt action. You see that handle on the side? You, the shooter, lift it up, pull it back to throw out the old casing, shove it forward to pick up a new one, and then lock it back down. It's simple, it's strong, and it's very deliberate.
So here's the thing. That simplicity is its superpower. When that bolt is locked down, it basically creates one solid piece of steel with the barrel. Nothing else is moving or rattling around when the gun goes off. That means you get incredibly consistent barrel vibrations, which is the absolute secret sauce for pure long-range accuracy. It's why, even today, the bolt action is still king for precision.
Next up, we've got the action that won the West, or at least starred in all the Westerns, the lever action. You cycle it with that cool loop-shaped lever right behind the trigger guard. It's just mechanically unique and has a cool factor that is completely off the charts.
Now, it's not going to be as fast as a modern semi-auto, but someone who knows what they're doing can run a lever action surprisingly quick, all without taking their eye off the target. It just perfectly blends a faster rate of fire with a whole lot of character that people have absolutely loved for over 150 years.
Okay, our third classic manual action is the pump action, the one you'll almost always see on shotguns. You cycle this one by sliding the grip under the barrel, the forend, back, and then forward. You know that sound, that shuck shuck, is just unmistakable.
The pump action is, without a doubt, the dependable workhorse of the gun world. Because you are physically forcing it to cycle, it'll power right through dirt, grime, or weaker ammo that might make a more finicky autoloader choke. It's simple, it's tough, and it just flat out works.
All right, let's jump over to the other side of the family tree, the autoloaders. These are the firearms that brilliantly use the energy of the shot itself to do that whole 5-step cycle and get the next round ready for you.
But that really makes you wonder, right? I mean, a gunshot is this violent, chaotic explosion. How on earth do engineers manage to tame that force in a controlled way to operate a complex machine? Well, it turns out there are a few incredibly clever ways to do it. Okay, so the simplest method is called blowback. In these guns, the bolt isn't really locked shut. It's just held against the barrel by its own heavy weight and a strong spring. So when the gun fires, the cartridge case literally just blows back and shoves that heavy bolt open. It's beautifully simple, but it really only works for lower power rounds. With a powerful rifle cartridge, the bolt would have to be ridiculously heavy to work.
For more powerful rounds, you need something that locks. Enter the recoil-operated system. Here, the barrel and the bolt are locked together, and when the gun fires, they travel backward for a short distance as a single unit. Then, after a moment, the barrel stops, the bolt unlocks, and keeps moving back to eject the shell. It's a really smart use of inertia to keep that breech sealed until the pressure drops to a safe level.
And that brings us to the most common system for pretty much all modern semi-automatic rifles: gas operation. A tiny little hole is drilled in the barrel. As the bullet flies past it, a little bit of the high-pressure gas behind the bullet gets siphoned off. That gas is then piped back to push on a piston, which drives the action. It's basically like a tiny, self-contained gas engine powered by the gunshot itself. So cool!
Okay, wow, so we have all these ingenious designs: bolt, lever, pump, blowback, recoil, gas. It's a lot to keep track of. So how do they all stack up against each other when it comes to real-world use? Let's try to put it all together.
This chart really nails the fundamental trade-offs you have to make. You can see that bolt actions give up speed to get just incredible accuracy and simplicity. Semi-automatics, on the other hand, give you blazing speed, but they're a bit more complex. And the lever actions? They sit right there in that sweet spot in the middle, offering this really unique balance of tradition, speed, and practicality.
And at the end of the day, it all boils down to this fantastic quote: "There really is no single best action. The best action is the one that's best for what you need it to do." Are you a precision target shooter? A hunter in the deep woods? Is your focus on sports or defense? Your answer to that question points you to the right action.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Every single one of these mechanical wonders was designed to solve a problem: how to be more accurate, how to be faster, how to be more reliable. It's this constant, ongoing story of engineering. And it kind of leaves you with one last thought. What challenges are out there right now, and what brilliant new action will somebody invent to solve them?